This is how I know that Hassan and I think Mike Figueroa also covered this from the Humanist Report. I covered it first before they did, but this is how I know that they could not possibly have held like an actual corporate job, because they're so surprised. They're so surprised that somebody could act like this when, in fact, I have dealt with dozens and dozens of people like this throughout my career. And it's not surprising. It's not surprising. You would think it should be. You would think that it should be surprising that somebody could be so fucking insensitive and so condescending to her staff. You would think. But I've actually met several people like this throughout my career.
This is a Zoom call from a CEO who canceled the all-employee bonus but took a $6.4 million bonus herself. What the
Questions came through about how can we stay motivated if we're not going to get a bonus? What can we do? What can we do? Some of them were nice and some of them were not so nice. So I'm going to address this head on. The most important thing we can do right now is focus on the things that we can control. None of us could have predicted COVID. None of us could have predicted supply chain. None of us could have predicted bank failures. But what we can do is stay in front of our customers, provide the best customer service we can, get our orders out our door, treat each other well, be kind, be respectful, focus on the future because it will be bright. It's not good to be in a situation we're in today, but we're not going to be here forever. It is going to get better. So lead by example, treat people well, talk to them.
Compensate your goddamn employees, bitch. I hope that your board fires you for what you did, because this has gone all kinds of viral at this point. And this is unacceptable behavior in the workplace. The fact that leaders get away with this bullshit all the time. I've seen several leaders get away with this bullshit. What do you do? What do you do for the fucking company? What do you do for the fucking company? That you can say, sorry, we're not going to compensate you this year. Yeah, you did a lot of work for us. We made some bad decisions at the top, so our profits are down. But that's your fault. You weren't working hard enough, right? During a pandemic. You weren't working hard enough. And our direction was perfect. Our direction, our instructions to you, totally perfect. Great, right? That's why I get 6.4 million and you get nothing. You get fucking nothing. You worked all year during a very traumatizing time of our life. Hassan, Mike, other people who have covered the story, you've never worked corporate jobs. You don't realize how common this type of personality is. We have to deal with this shit all the time. That's why it's like seeing their reactions to this, like that they're so surprised. If you actually held any level of office work, you would know that this is so normal. It's so fucking normal for American workers to have to deal with bullshit like this.
Be kind and get after it. Don't ask about what are we going to do if we don't get a bonus. Get the damn $26 million. Spend your time and your effort.
You know, one of the other big things they like to do is don't look at your colleagues. Don't look if the man sitting next to me is making over 6 figures while I'm making 70,000 at one of the jobs that I was at. And he was actually surprised that I wasn't making, like, we had a conversation and he's like, well, you're making 6 figures. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Apparently you are. And I'm handling more complicated proposals than you are. So, like, literally, the inequality in the workplace is still happening. They try and discourage us from discussing our salaries with each other, which they can't anymore. That's illegal. But they'll still penalize you if they find out that you're having these discussions.
Thinking about the $26 million we need and not thinking about what you're going to do if we don't get a bonus.
Oh my God.
All right?
Man.
Can I get some commitment for that? I would appreciate that. I had an old boss who said to me one time,
You know, I hate this because it's in all leadership scenarios. It could be your workplace. It could be your local political party. It could be like all over the place, that you've got dumbass personalities like this who are so condescending to the people around them and are just demanding of getting their own way so that they have the best outcome for them, right? But it's got to be shit for everybody else.
Visit Pity City, but you can't live there. So people, leave Pity City. Let's get it done. Thank
Pity
you.
City.
Have a great day.
I can't begin to describe to you how much I despise this pathetic person. This is absolutely insane. This is like, is this from a fucking movie? Like, what's happening here? There's no way this person is this fucking villainous.
No. It totally is. This is how it is in corporate America, Hassan. This is totally what it fucking looks like. And you like cut her off before she did her little hand pop too, which was fucking ridiculous as well. She was so goddamn condescending. And yes, this is very common in corporate America. I have met several people who are just like her, who are so fucking inconsiderate of their own staff.
In the real world. No, I need additional details. This feels like it's Herman Miller. This is actually the Herman Miller CEO. Don't live in Pity City, office chair magnet tells employees who want money. By the way, for the longest time, full disclosure, I wanted to work with Herman Miller. One, because I thought Herman Miller had unionized domestically manufactured products. And two, I've been using them for years, right? And they literally were like, nope, no shot. They've worked with plenty of other streamers, but they refuse to work with me. I wonder why. Because I rarely ever seek out advertisers. The reason for that is because, I don't need to. I usually tell advertisers not to work with me when they are trying to work with me. But Herman Miller, I wanted to get a free chair. The chair I'm currently using was sent to me by them. But I always thought it was odd that they were just like straight up like, nope, we're not going to work with you. Now I understand a little bit more as to what the company culture is about, at least at the executive level. Don't ask about what we're going to do if we don't get a bonus. Get the damn 26 million. Spend your time and your effort thinking about the 26 million we need and not thinking about what you're going to do if you don't get a bonus, all right? Can I get some commitment for that? Miller Knoll's fiscal year has not yet ended and bonus decisions have not been decided, including for Owen. Nevertheless, the clip was soon enough circulated online, leading to public anger. The company representative said that the clip does not show the full context of what she described as a largely positive meeting. Oh, guys.
Dude, you know what? Like, they're lucky. This staff is lucky that she didn't do the whole bullshit of, okay, all I'm doing right now is taking your bonuses because we're in a bad financial position. But we're not in too terrible of a financial position. Nobody's going to get laid off, right? In 6 months, she's going to lay off her staff. Because I've gone through this twice before, where they're like, no, we're in a great financial position. Nobody's going to lose their jobs. And then within 6 months, people start getting laid off. I went through this twice. I went through this at Ingram Micro over 20 years ago. And I went through this at Idemia when we went into the pandemic. And they said, nobody's going to get laid off. We're in a great financial position. Nothing's going to happen to you. That's some bullshit.
It's okay. Guys, you don't understand. The rest of the meeting was so sick, though. The context is missing from her sentiment where she told off her workers to suck it the fuck up because they're in. Anyway, you want to know how much she makes? According to salary.com for 2022, the president and CEO of Miller Knoll Inc., Andy R.O., and the woman that we were looking at made $4.9 million in total compensation. Of this total, $1 million was received as a salary, $1.2 million was received as a bonus, and $800,000 was received in stock options, and $1.4 million was awarded as stock, and $300,000 came from other types of compensation. She says, stop thinking about the bonus. This video in and of itself seems fake. It seems too perfect to be real. You know what I mean? She is literally acting out the stereotypical, out of touch, liberal CEO. This woman absolutely voted for Clinton. Oh, you know she did. The real villains are the lazy corporate workers who refuse to come back to...
I don't know that you can make that estimation that she voted for Clinton. Because if she's this unfeeling about her workers, she could have very well voted for Trump. I don't think that's a good estimation at this point. Like, we don't know. What we do know is that she doesn't give a shit about her workers. She doesn't give a shit about her workers. She only cares about enriching her own life, period. She doesn't even care about the success of her company. That's why I think the board at this point, after this went viral, should be asking her to resign. Because she is not a good representative. She's not a good spokesperson for the company at this point. And that is true for many. Like, Elon Musk should step down too. He's obviously terrible. But, you know, like, what are we supposed to do about this? Like, how do you get without, like, having pressure campaigns against the shareholders, what do you do? You know? How do you do it? Like, you're more physically fit than I am, Hassan. What do you do? How are you going to organize to actually stop people like this?
Offices 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's ruining Herman Miller's business. Yeah. Vulture shit, dude. Great stuff overall. It's AI generated? No, it's not AI generated, man. What? What
No,
the fuck?
It's not.
No, this is very real. The problem is it's too real. That's what the issue is. It makes me feel like it might not be because it's so...
It's been going on for over a week. So, like, if this was, or almost a week, if this was AI generated, it would have come out before now. The fact that we still have live streamers like Hassan picking it up days after it actually happened, I don't know why you guys are so slow on the uptake for some of these stories. I don't get it, but like, I already covered this days ago. I covered this days ago, Hassan. You guys are a little slow on the uptake. Whatever. Okay. But no, it would have already come out by now. It would have been within 24 hours that it was identified as AI if it was like a fake. And this is going to be a problem for us going into the next election cycle, that it's going to be difficult for us to ascertain what is an actual video of somebody and what's goddamn AI. That's going to be hard for us in the upcoming presidential cycle.
Convenient for it to be real. Andy fiercely believes in his team and we can accomplish together and will not be dissuaded by a 90-second clip taken out of context and posted on social media. Miller Knoll, an office chair company that makes some of the most well-regarded chairs in the country, including the Aeron Mira, the Eames lounge chair. This is like the ultimate Sneeko cuck chair, by the way. You know, every hotel has the Sneeko chair. The Eames lounge chair is the LeBron James of Sneeko chairs, okay? There's no better cuck chair than the Eames lounge chair. You've probably seen it. It's famous in, like, aesthetic circles. People always joke about it. Here you go. I'll show it to you and you'll immediately recognize it. Blammo. I'm sure you've seen it. This is the mid-century aesthetic. Okay, this is literally the most...
I have not seen it. I mean, like, I've been in corporations for over 20 years. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, like, I've dealt with a lot of big egos in my day, but I have never seen anybody so blatant as to have, like, a fucking lounge chair in their office. I've never, like, I've seen them pick up their Wall Street news at the front desk and go up and read for like an hour. I've seen them book time off of their calendar so that they have some personal space. I've seen leaders go behind closed doors with their bosses for hours every single fucking day. Like, that's not suspicious. That's not fucking suspicious. I've seen all kinds of crap, but I have never seen anybody actually put a fucking lounge chair in their office.
You've seen this chair before. Why do you know that? Because I literally I look at every fucking dumb aesthetic meme page, okay? Every single one. We ain't all staying in 4-star hotels, rich boy. No hotel has this as a chair. What are you, fucking crazy?
And not thinking about what you're going to do if we don't get a bonus. All right?
Oh.
That is CEO Andy Owens from Miller Knoll, formerly known as Herman Miller, a company that I used to work for several years. She received a multi-million-dollar bonus and is telling her employees to leave Pity City because they may not receive their bonuses. And having worked there for several years, I never heard of one employee having a bonus over a couple $100, if that. But yeah, leave Pity City.
I think this is probably her telling higher level of.
By the way, that's part of our compensation. When you say that there's going to be a bonus, that's part of our compensation package. We're entitled to earn that money. So if you're going to earn it, we're going to earn it. That's some bullshit. Like, I was supposed to get a 10% of my salary bonus every year, which would have been roughly $10,000 minus taxes. And we were getting docked that bonus too. But we're in a great financial position. It's all good. It's all good. You're not going to get laid off. And I did. I got laid off in 2020.
Employees that they're not getting bonuses because that's more important for them than it is for the average person that works there. Like, it's got to be way more devastating, not for like the average person who gets like $100 at the end of the year and they're like, oh man, great. But like actual C-suite people that are not getting the fucking bonuses, I suspect, which is part of the reason why it leaked. Oh, she definitely got a bonus. You know her ass got a bonus. Especially because it's like odd. Why the fuck would she be asking like dudes who work at the warehouse to find $26 million? What the fuck are they gonna do, you know? You got a $6.4 million bonus. You read it, I think. No, I read a tweet. See?
Yeah, CEO bitch. It's your responsibility to figure out what the sales strategy is going to be to sell your chairs. You can't figure out how to sell chairs to people who all of a sudden have to create their own home work environment. You can't fucking figure that out? That people actually need to set up desks in their own houses during a pandemic? You can't figure out how that's a selling opportunity? Oh my God, even. And you just fucking rewarded yourself? And then hurt all of your employees who are following your goddamn direction.
Now, a tweet saying she got a $6.4 million bonus is very different than a news article saying she got a $6.4 million bonus. Mm-hmm. Sometimes even news articles can get information wrong. So, of course, when I read that tweet saying she got a $6.4 million bonus, I didn't immediately go, oh, she got a $6.4 million bonus. This is important for everyone to learn with respect to media literacy. Sometimes tweets from random Twitter accounts.
But the tweet was had the article attached. The tweet had the article attached.
Especially anonymous ones, will lie. Even if it corresponds to our personal biases, it's always better to try and get the truth. But don't immediately believe that. I'm not even faulting you, chatter. It's understandable. I just don't want you to get caught with your pants down, believing in some misinformation on the internet. This has led to a period of disruption, as Miller Knoll itself recently put, in which Herman Miller, to acquire Knoll, one of his top competitors in 2021, for $1.8 billion, informed the newly created Miller Knoll to create the better weather the changes brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Knoll's then CEO stepped down as a result of the transaction, placing Owen, then CEO of Herman Miller, in charge of the newly formed furniture giant. Since then, Owen has tried to cut costs in a variety of ways as the share price plunged. The company announced earlier this month that it would close a manufacturing plant in Wisconsin and lay off 162 employees, and otherwise shifted its focus to more hybrid, collaborative work environments and online sales. For her work, Owen received bonuses of $1.2 million last year and $1.12 million in 2021. Those bonuses seem low for Herman Miller, not gonna lie. Yes, that is because, as we saw on salary.com, she simply received hard cash bonus to the tune of $1.2 million, but this does not feature the stock options that she was given, both as compensation.
Is she worth it? I mean, the entire point of being a CEO is making the company successful, right? And she's saying that they're 26 million down. So is she fucking worth a bonus? No, she's not. She didn't get her job done, right? She did not take care of the staff of the company. She did not provide them proper direction to sell the chairs that she needs to sell. And she's blaming her staff rather than her fucking direction. I'm so sick to death of you people that get at the top of these organizations and blame everybody else for your fucking mistakes. You have families that you're responsible for, who are trying to earn a living by working for your company. And you keep doing this bullshit over and over again. Really, not my fault. It's your fault. No, it's your fault, girlfriend. You were supposed to provide the direction to sell those chairs. It's a pretty simple, this is like fucking The Apprentice kind of level shit. You're selling chairs. How fucking difficult is it for you to figure out how to sell chairs during a pandemic? When people are setting up their own home offices. Goddamn stupid ass bitch.
Or as a bonus on top of that. So that's the reason why it is, it seems a little bit less than what you would expect for a CEO of like a massive fucking company. From what I read, those layoffs are primarily union jobs. Yeah. Herman Miller used to be a company that, proudly had union factories and domestically manufactured its product, which was very expensive, obviously, as you guys know, incredibly expensive. Luckily, there's a lot of opportunity to find them secondhand, used, especially since like COVID eviscerated going into places of business. There you go. El Moro Rosa is saying the same thing. If anybody wants a Herman Miller, search for refurbished ones. They are a fourth of the price. In an office that had a ton of them that went bust recently or changed locations, and the batch sold them secondhand. Yeah. Dude, I'm not even scared. It's an action game. People are dumb. Well, oh God, he looks so scary.
I mean, that should have been the path forward anyway. The fact that Trump tried to encourage everybody to go back into the office, get everybody sick, and, kill over 1 million Americans over COVID. We could have evolved as a society and made more of these office jobs remote work. It would have been safer for everybody. People would have been mentally healthier. But instead, there's too many bosses out there that not only don't care about their staff, but they need to watch them at all times. They need to fucking spy. Like, they actually hire managers to fuck around all day, shop online all goddamn day, and just jump in on watching their employees. Like, just fucking observe them, spy on them, make them feel fucked up, because they just need to come up behind you and scare you. I've had this happen to me. I've had a boss sneak up on me. Like, literally, it looks cartoonish when she did it. She was tiptoeing to come up and sneak up behind me. It was the biggest bullshit ever. And yet, that's what we have in leadership roles in America today. That's what we have in leadership. I can't even. Well, the board better fucking call on her resignation, because that was some bullshit.